Okay, folks, buckle up because today we are diving into some seriously heavy stuff.
Oh, yeah. This one's a doozy.
We got a request that's got us thinking, and honestly, it's kind of freaking us out a little bit.
Yeah, just a bit.
Someone wants to talk about World War III, like full-on global conflict.
On YouTube, of all places.
Right. YouTube. This is for a channel called Show.
What's it mean?
Stories of the World, if you're following along at home.
Catchy.
And they don't just want to, speculate about, who would win or whatever.
Oh, no, they're thinking bigger picture.
Way bigger. They want to know what the world would look like.
Before, during, after World War III.
Here's the kicker.
They want to talk about the conspiracy theories.
Oh, boy, the conspiracy theories.
The ones that swirl around World War III.
Which, honestly, when you think about it, those conspiracy theories, they tell us a lot about ourselves, don't they?
Totally. Like, what are we so afraid of? What are those deep-seated anxieties we have about the future? Exactly. And the channel's host, let's call him Hemo for our listeners, he wants to use this platform to get people thinking about these big questions.
About how we avoid WW3 and what happens if we don't.
Right. What does a post-war world even look like? So where do we even begin with something like this?
I guess we got to start with the lead up, right?
Oh.
Like, what would the world look like on the brink of World War III?
Yeah, what are those warning signs?
I'm picturing like a powder keg just waiting for a spark. Tensions between superpowers are sky high.
Absolutely. We'd be talking about territorial disputes, political assassinations, maybe even a good old-fashioned arms race.
Oh, yeah. Nations flexing their military muscles.
Exactly. Think hypersonic missiles, AI-powered drones, cyber warfare stuff that would make the Cold War look like a playground squabble.
And it wouldn't just be about weapons, right?
No way. It'd be about economics, too. Sanctions, tariffs, trade wars, the whole shebang.
Basically, the global economy would be teetering on the edge of collapse.
Right. All it would take is one wrong move, one miscalculation, and boom, the whole thing comes crashing down.
So the pre-war world sounds pretty bleak.
It does, doesn't it?
But what about the war itself? Like, what would World War III actually look like in this day and age?
It's hard to say for sure, but it wouldn't be pretty.
Understatement of the century.
We're talking traditional warfare cyber attacks, maybe even weapons of mass destruction.
Oh, God.
Cities could be wiped out in an instant. Millions, maybe billions dead.
And that's not even considering the long-term effects like the radiation, the environmental damage.
The trauma, the psychological scars.
It's almost too much to think about.
And that's exactly when conspiracy theories start to take hold.
When people are scared and looking for answers.
Right. They need someone or something to blame. They need a way to make sense of the chaos.
And the internet?
Well,
it doesn't have.
Not one bit.
Yeah.
It just amplifies those theories, spreads misinformation like wildfire.
So on top of everything else, you've got people battling over what's real and what's not.
It's a recipe for utter chaos.
Pretty much. So Hemo, he wants to know what happens after all this. What kind of world emerges from the ashes of World War III?
Right. Is there even anything left to rebuild?
That's what I want to know. Is it just like Mad Max out there?
Well, it depends on a lot of factors, obviously. The extent of the damage, the resources left, the political systems that survive.
But it's safe to say the world would be completely different.
Oh, absolutely. The balance of power would be totally upended. New alliances, new rivalries.
In technology, I bet we'd see some crazy advancements.
Out of necessity, right? Gotta rebuild, somehow adapt to this new reality.
But what about the environment? Could the planet even recover from something like that?
That's a big question. We're talking about pollution, radioactive fallout, climate change, possibly even mass extinction.
So it wouldn't just be about rebuilding society, it'd be about rebuilding the planet itself.
And rethinking our relationship with it, maybe finally figuring out how to live in harmony with nature.
So yeah, this YouTube channel, they're really diving into the deep end here.
They're asking some really tough questions about the future.
And about ourselves.
Exactly. Like, what are we doing to prevent this kind of catastrophe? What choices can we make today to ensure a better tomorrow?
Big questions, no easy answers.
But that's the point, right? To get people talking, to get them thinking about these issues, and hopefully inspire them to action.
Because the future isn't set in stone.
We have the power to shape it.
Let's just hope we choose wisely.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, me too. Let's hope we choose wisely.
For all our sakes.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Cheers.
Cheers.